Good day, folks. This is Quentin with The Road Less Traveled. Today I want to talk a little bit about something that's probably not even in the news yet, just something that's coming down the pipeline, and it's very disturbing to me, and I'm sure that many of you will find it very disturbing as well. Now, you know, just recently in the news, back on June 24th, the Supreme Court opinion came down, the verdict overturned Roe versus Wade, and since then, the Liberal Party, the Joe Biden administration, has been doing all they can to force abortion in all states, to make Roe versus Wade permanent, what they're saying, which is complete ignorance, folks. Now, folks, if you know anything about government, you know anything about politics, you know that the founding fathers of this nation built this nation, set the government in place in three separate branches. So we have the judicial, the executive, and the legislative. So, of course, the legislative being the Congress and the Senate, the executive being the office of president, and the judicial branch being the Supreme Court. Now, all three of these branches are supposed to work in unison together, but they have safeguards in place that prevent one office from becoming tyrannical. Now, what we're seeing today, folks, is that the liberals in the executive branch, of course, the Joe Biden administration, and the legislative branch are trying to take what the judicial branch has done in the past, 1973, Roe versus Wade, and they're trying to take the opinion of the court and make that the law of the land. Well, we know that the judicial branch does not make laws in this land. Now, what the Supreme Court did back in 1973 was really no different than what they did back during the Dred Scott case, folks. They deemed that the human life in the womb is less human than the rest of us, just as they deemed back during Dred Scott that the black man, the black woman were less human than us. And the Supreme Court ruled that women had a right to abortion. But you see, that's not the law of the land. The Supreme Court cannot make it illegal or make it a law that it's okay to murder in the United States of America. So therefore, Roe versus Wade cannot become permanent because it is not the law of the land. It never was the law of the land. Murder has always been illegal. Life is always sacred. Now, folks, as many of you all know, I'm a veteran of the United States Army and retired from the Army back in 2017, and three-time combat veteran, and of course I'm also a disabled veteran, and that being that I undergo care through the VA system, and I get regular monthly updates pretty much on benefits and stuff through the VA. Now, folks, just today I received some information from an inside source at the VA. And I'm going to read this letter to you, and many of y'all are going to find this letter disturbing. And then after I read it, we're going to talk a little bit about it. Message from the Undersecretary for Health, dated September 2nd, 2022. Safeguarding employees and veterans in VA facilities. We have no greater mission in VA than to preserve and protect the health and welfare of our veterans and the well-being of our employees who care for them. Today, VA moved to expand reproductive health care, ensuring enrolled veterans and their beneficiaries can access life-saving reproductive health services at VA, no matter where they live. In exercising its federal authority, VA is providing generally accepted standards of medical care to veterans when 1. The life or the health of the pregnant veteran or VA beneficiary would be endangered if the pregnancy were carried to term, or 2. The pregnancy is the result of an act of rape or incest. VA beneficiaries will also have access to this care. We in VA Healthcare are exclusively focused on our mission of delivering outstanding health care to veterans and saving lives. Of course, we recognize issues surrounding reproductive rights can be sensitive, emotional touch points for many. So I also want to reassure you that our VA police have procedures in place to protect employee safety and secure our workplaces. VA police officers are well trained in protective, investigative, and law enforcement services. They work closely every day with federal law enforcement agencies. and community law enforcement partners managing and mitigating potentially threatening incidents. Employees, veterans, volunteers, and visitors concerned for their safety should always reach out first to the facility VA police. We cannot take care of veterans if we don't take care of ourselves and each other. So please do address any safety and security concerns you may have to your local VA police. Their job is looking out for you. Thank you for all you do each day in VA. Sharif El-Nahal, MD, MBA, Undersecretary for Health. All right, folks, so they're unpacking all this that we have in this letter. There's a couple of things I see. So the VA doesn't give care to civilians, but what they do is they give care to the veterans, and now they're even saying the beneficiaries of veterans. So veterans and those that are in their family, those that are under them, who knows how far they'll branch this out. They might even branch it out to the third, fourth, fifth generation. If you've ever had a veteran in your family, guess what? You can come to the VA and get an abortion. So they're trying to justify this, number one, that it's for the care of their patients. If their lives are at risk, they will perform an abortion procedure. Folks, it's murder. Plain and simple, abortion is murder. Everyone knows that. Science has proven that life begins at conception. And here at the VA, on your tax dollars, they're going to fund abortions. Number two, folks, they're trying to justify their actions for those cases of incest and rape. Now, all of us agree, folks, that incest and rape are horrible, and those that commit such atrocities need to be brought to justice, and they need to answer for their crimes. But never is it okay to justify murder because of the sins of another. But folks, understand that this is just a starting point. They're just warming up the water. They're just heating it up. They're going to get you used to the temperature gradually until eventually you don't need any reason to come in and kill your baby other than the fact that you don't want this child. And they're going to make it available to who knows how many generations of descendants from veterans. If you had a great-great-grandfather that served in the military, come on in and kill your baby. Now, the second thing I get out of this letter is that they are trying to intimidate employees in the way of opposition against this thing. And also, if the word gets out like it is now, to intimidate those that would come and stand against this atrocity that's going on in the VA system. I'm not going to be intimidated, and I'm not going to compromise the truth of God's word. Now, I'll be wise in this, and I won't go stand on VA property while I'm holding a photo and a sign of an aborted child. And I won't raise up my voice with the bullhorn on VA property, but I sure am going to stand on public property, state property, that's funded with my taxpayer money. And that VA property also is funded with my taxpayer money. But understand this, the moment you step onto that VA property, they're already making threats with the VA police, who they say work very closely with federal agencies. So what they'll do is they'll arrest you, and they'll bring you up on federal charges, not state charges, but federal charges. It comes from the top down. The VA is a bureaucratic office, and it doesn't do anything without the authorization of those above it. And the administration, Joe's administration, is the one that makes these calls. And we know that all he did was find a backdoor, as it states in the letter, a backdoor to make abortion available in every state in the United States of America. They don't like it that there's certain states that have banned abortion in their state. So they've done what they could, and they thought, hey, here's our loophole. The VA hospitals, it's a federal facility, and we will make these hospitals open to perform abortion procedures. So folks, this is my call to you. If you are a Christian, let your voice be heard. You need to write or email, call your senators in your state. You need to write and call, email your governor, and you need to raise a ruckus about this. Most of all, what you can do is step out onto the streets and stand outside of these facilities that, quite frankly, folks, they've never, us as veterans, we've always had issues with these facilities. They don't provide us great care. And a lot of veterans have died in their care unnecessarily. when they could have got that same type of care, or better care, actually, in a civilian facility. They don't provide us great care. And they've let us down many times as veterans. And now they're letting us down even further in taking our federal taxpayer dollars to kill babies, something that I am against. Folks, the Bible states, "Thou shalt not kill." The Bible states that God hates the hands that shed innocent blood. The Bible states that the man that sheds blood, by man shall his blood be shed. That's the law of God. And the laws of the land do not trump the divine law of God. So folks, let your voices be heard today. Lift this up in prayer. Remember, this is not a call to violence or a call to any sort of action other than what we have our constitutional rights to do. That is the First Amendment, to let our voices be heard, freedom of speech, freedom of religion. But go out, cry loud, spare not, lift up your voice as a trumpet, and stand against these atrocities, stand against these abominations that are going on in our land. Let your voice be heard. Do not back down to these tyrants. God bless y'all. Keep your hands to the plow and your eyes on the prize. We'll see you next time.